All right, I think we're recording. So we've been just talking and recording these live sessions for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. We figured we'd hit record on one of them. So just trying to keep the energy chill. Usually, basically, I'm Joe, Profit First Reseller. This is Ethan over here.
Hello.
And we like to just turn on the camera and work. And we thought we might as well hit record on one of these and share the love a little bit, let you guys work along with us. So
Yeah,
Ethan, I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit. And
not much to introduce. My name's Ethan. I sell stuff. I do clothes. So, not a whole crazy setup. We're just in my basement, you know. So just a guy in the basement with some clothes, and we're just gonna work, and that's it. So
I love that, bro. You got the best energy. Are you Are you gonna be doing mostly photography today, or what's on the docket today?
I think so. So as I was just telling Joe, I've been without Wi-Fi all week, so I haven't been taking a bunch of photographs because I haven't even been able to list it. So I do have a bunch of stuff. I'll probably cut the tags off all of them, just inspect them real quick for flaws, and then I'll start taking photographs. And that's all we're gonna do while we sit here and talk. So
Love that. I happen to have a whole bunch of Guitar Hero guitars. I'm gonna be like putting them on my floor behind me here. I already have one ready to go, and I'm just gonna be taking pictures of guitars on the carpet. I mean, I'm not fancy. I had my photo box, but the photo box is too big for these guys. So I literally just put all the lights on in my room as bright as I can, and I'm just going to be taking pictures on the floor and trying to keep my toes out of the photo. That's the hardest part.
I hear that adds value sometimes, depending on what your toes look like.
There you go. Hey.
So you sell those all untested, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. For one thing, I am just drowning in inventory right now. I've bought thousands of pounds of just junk, and a lot of it is garbage and recycling. And I donated hundreds of pounds just back to local thrift stores the other day. But a lot of the stuff is just big stuff, and I've just got to get it in and out. Like I'm like drowning in inventory right now, so I got to be as efficient as possible. Yeah. So no testing on these guys. So I just I lower the price. You price it appropriately, but
I got you.
Yeah.
I remember you talked about that in a video. How like. Because the quality, even though it can be working, the quality can be different, like how reactionary the buttons are.
Man. And yeah. The most intense gamers are, to me at least, the super intense rhythm-based game players. And then, of course, like the 2D fighters, the Street Fighters and the Smash Bros and stuff. Those people are so picky with their controllers. You got to be careful when you're selling to that crowd specifically. Yeah. Just like if you're selling to a collector, you got to be extra picky about condition. But no, like functionality, like these dudes are, and women, of course, and whoever. But man, they're intense.
Yeah, I got my my personal Guitar Hero guitar at a flea market, and the green button works like 50% of the time.
See, and that doesn't work for a game. If you actually are trying to get expert or 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the rhythm games, you got to be so into it. I watched a whole documentary on YouTube just a couple of weeks ago. It was like 30 minutes about this really competitive one where it's based around this circle. And there's a lot of tapping and sliding. And it is music and rhythm based, but a completely different interface where it's like this touch screen like ring, and the machines are hard to find, but people would just spend hours playing these machines. It's just incredible. And there's like a worldwide leaderboards. There's like that whole aspect too, of course.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you a question. I thought of it when, with all the Pegasus Lounge stuff that's happened just now. Do you remember what your first pallet was like?
The very first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intimidating. All of a sudden, I was like, I just didn't have enough anything. I needed more boxes. I needed to figure out where my dump, how to take stuff to the dump, how to handle all this recycling, how to handle old pallets. Like, yeah, it was a lot at once. There's just a lot of extra. There's like extra baggage, literally, like attached.
Yeah.
And just a lot of trash. And like, in the beginning, I was still in the mode of like wanting to sell everything. Like, it wasn't really a pallet, just like bulk buying in general. Like, you can't sell it all. Like, I've had to get really selective and just like redonate a lot and just like figure out where my profit is to be made, because like you can sell anything. That doesn't mean you should necessarily. So I have like I just unpacked a whole bunch of inventory just in the last 2 days, and like a quarter of it I'm just redonating. Like I bought it and I'm literally turning around and getting rid of it. And that feels wrong. And it was hard to like train myself to be okay with that, but just you have to. So I got kind of like bogged down in the beginning for sure, of just like feeling like this responsibility of like I just bought like 500 or 1,000 items. Like now and like feeling like you now have to go list 1,000 items is super intimidating. But it just, becomes a process. Like after a while, you've kind of seen everything and you learn what you can lot up and what's not worth your time to sell individually. And then with the replenishables, with like the multi-quantity stuff on eBay, a lot of it's stuff I already have pictures of. I'm just like cleaning it up to the right condition and getting it right back in its bin and just updating the inventory quantity on my store. So that's really helpful too.
Yeah.
But that took years to like build up, because it's still like, a couple thousand items, but it's the same couple thousand items I'm seeing over and over again. You just kind of got to build the Rolodex, I think.
Yeah. Is there ever a time like you see something come in, you're like, this isn't worth enough, so you like toss it out or donate it, whatever, and then you just kept getting it over and over? You're like, well, if I'm gonna keep getting it, I guess I'll list it this time. Then I know that
absolutely
quantity.
Yeah, because if you can sell a lot of 10 or a lot of 100, even something that was a pain in the butt, and maybe a lot of 100 various condition where you're just like, this is it. Because when you start to be able to sell a lot of one specific thing, it starts to carry a lot more value on eBay, I think, than like a lot of just like a junk drawer lot, or when people just have like random electronics and it's like 18 different brands versus like, I can definitely see a game store wanting to buy 100 of some random accessory, and even them understanding that maybe only 70 out of the 100 are going to work perfectly, but they're able to, and they already clean them and stuff. And I think that's what I sell it to a lot of game stores and even like some local retro game shops and stuff like that. I've even had them like reaching out, being like, hey, will you look out for these items? Or if you ever get more of this, please let me know. Stuff like that.
Back when I was still doing everything, that was like, I loved selling to the video game stores or camera stores too. It's like, I knew I was never going to get a return. I knew they'd just do something with it.
Yeah. They know what they're looking for. Like, they're very discerning. As long as you're honest with condition. I used to put everything on like very good and got a few people, and that was before my disc resurfacer too. But now I just sell every video game under like the good condition, and I think you just got to be honest. I just always try to like overpromise, underdeliver, just regular stuff. So.
You said that backwards. Just to be clear,
overpromise, underdeliver. No, I always try to overpromise. Wait, are we recording this? Oh no, stop the recording. Oh no. No, yeah, you're right. I said that wrong.
Or maybe I heard it wrong.
Definitely said it wrong. I'm like trying to like make a listing on my phone while I'm like trying to remember some analogy I barely remembered. Bro, we went to this restaurant today in Fort Worth, and they had this bouncy inflatable thing I've never seen before. It looked like one of those big inflatable, like looks like a giant pillow, but the size of like, the half the size of a soccer field, and all these kids were jumping on it. It was kind of bouncy, and you're supposed to take your shoes off. It reminded me of like what stuntmen fall into, but like pumped up a lot tighter. But it was just, it was awesome. The kids were having a blast. And give them something to do. They were all exhausted, like asking to come home. Like that never happens. I heard Derek Sievers actually talked about that once as a dad. He's a guy, like an entrepreneur I followed a lot and read his books, but he said, especially as a way to like help his kid be able to focus on one task for a long time. Like he was noticing that was like an increasingly difficult task in the world, and probably therefore one that's going to be a lot more valuable for your kids. And so he always tried to make sure that if he and his kid were going to sit down and play with something, that his kid would be the one who says, okay, I'm tired of this. I want to go do something else first. And until then, he would just stick with them, even if it meant like throwing pebbles into a pond for like an hour and a half until they were done. But to just like let them, and that really hit me. Like so much of parenting for me is just like shuffling them to the next thing. Like now you got to do your chores. Now you got to get ready for this. Now you got to do this. And just to like, I see my parents, their grandparents with them sometimes. And my grandparents have nothing to do except just enjoy their time with my kids. And it's just like, oh yeah, that's such an important, just to like sit down and do a puzzle for an hour and not be like, okay, but don't forget you have to do this thing later. And like, because there's that whole, like your house is kind of a business too. And there's like stuff that needs to get done, but yeah, it was good. It was a good lesson. Just like, and it was a kind of like got the competitive side of me too. Like I'm trying to like beat my kids. Like when they get up first and they're like, okay, I'm tired of playing Legos. I'm like, yes, Like I really helped satisfy that need before I let something else like pop up in my own ADD head that's like too urgent and pulls me away. Like I think what they're like wanting is just like quality time.
Yeah. I always wonder how different it is to be a kid today. Like,
yeah.
Do kids still play outside? Like, I know you said yours do, but...
Bro, there's one kid on our block. His parents make him play outside all day. He like comes over, he asks to borrow our bikes because he's tired of riding his bike. He's always playing basketball with the big kids. Guess what? That kid literally, I think if not the fastest, one of the fastest 12-year-olds in the country.
Oh.
And I think it's got to be related. He's outside playing outside all day, and his parents signed him up for track, and he's dominating. He plays football too. He's like an amazing running back. He's like this little 12-year-old kid, but he's not afraid of anybody. He's so athletic, and he's just like creative, you know, and able to focus. And he's got that ability to focus because I think his parents are not letting him get a cell phone yet. He's 12, and he's just outside kicking rocks still. And he's like he's a phenom. Like he's an incredible kid. He's so nice and respectful, and like he's amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to give my kids dumb phones for a while.
Yes, man. Yeah. Just in case they need you so they can call you or something. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, like that's it.
Yeah. You're so much better. I can't find that. I just want to like strap some kind of communication watch to them. I worry, even like dropping them off at like the nursery at the gym or something, that like I just want to make sure they can contact me if they ever feel unsafe. I want them to have some way to like have a lifeline to like reach out. Like I'm going to be there in 2 seconds if I can.
Yeah.
And like, I like having that with cell phones, but it's hard to like get a kid to be trusted with a cell phone and the responsibility of it. And you don't want it to get stolen off of them. I kind of just want to like strap it or like have it hidden in somewhere in them or something. Yeah. It'll be an implant one of these days. But not for my kids, probably. Missed that part. Do you ever just spend time in the title just like looking for like the least important word to delete so you can get in what you want to get in?
Yeah. The comma is always not the comma. The apostrophe in men's or women's always the first to go.
Oh man, I'm so out of the loop. I didn't even think that's like a free letter. Yeah, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Like if I'm listing like Abercrombie and Fitch and I really need it, I'll just remove the ampersand. It'll just say Abercrombie Fitch. Like
yeah.
So
that's so good. Yeah, I just saw in this title, I saw model. I'm like, I don't think anybody like I want to leave the model number, but I don't think it needs to actually say the word model before the model number. And that gave me just enough characters to include untested in the beginning. It was very satisfying.
Yeah. I'm always targeting words that like I know it's like in the theme like section. It's one of like the selectable words for like theme or like features or something. I always get rid of those and just put it in the specifics.
Are you into like all the trendy, like the keywords and stuff? Like, do you get deep on the keyword stuff, like researching all the different keywords to include?
That's so hard. Like, I know like a base level bit just from like following vintage pages and stuff. But like, now if we're getting into like women's keywords, like for Poshmark, I'm totally lost on that. Like I know some, but I have no clue what they mean. Like I have no clue when I would use them.
Yep. Yeah, that seems so deep to me. It's like so inside baseball. Yeah. I start hearing terms like whimsigoth. I'm like, I'm out.
I have no clue what it is.
I mean, I get it, but it's just and it is a loose term. It's just like generally in those spheres, just like two little fashions colliding there.
Yeah. I don't do a ton of style-based stuff anyways. At least that's what I feel like. Maybe I'm more into it than I realize, but I'm trying to buy stuff based on like the specific model it is. It's like they can just look up the model name or, by brand, of course.
Even the actual like name of the thing can be hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough. I struggle with that with women's clothing a lot. Like the amount of times I just like walk up to my girlfriend with something, I'm like, what is this?
Well, it's helpful that she's so into it. I bet. Yeah, I mean, you are able to kind of learn on the go like that. That's nice.
Yeah. I have to do that with color a lot too. Like when I can't tell
like what the name of the color is.
Yeah, like I just like can't tell. Maybe it's like close enough on like the border or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have stopped buying things, like obviously within reason. Like if it's a lower tier item and I can't tell what color it is, I just don't buy it anymore.
If you can't you just, I guess I was gonna say, can't you ask Chat GPT? But color is so hard to capture over pictures. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be accurate. Dude, I used Chat GPT yesterday for some Beyblades. Like I got like a whole bunch of just like random Beyblades.
Yeah.
And a little arena, all, and we were like watching the YouTube videos on how to put them together. There's like the bottom part and the middle and the top, the whole thing. But before we did, I laid everything out on my driveway and I took a picture of it and I uploaded it to Grok. And I was like, are any of these pieces worth more than $10 before I let my kids just like run wild with them? And essentially Grok was like, no, probably between $1 and $5, maybe up to 10 for some of them, maybe some of the metal ones, but you got to look them up individually. And I was like, cool, thank you, Grok. All right, kids, go at it. But it was nice just to like make sure I'm not missing some like $100 piece. And they're like, oh no, it's smashed.
Yeah. That seems like the perfect thing to lot of. Did it just arrive? It's just a bunch of different parts.
Oh, it's just collected over time. But then I found, especially, just at the bottom of a random bin of electronics or a box, or I don't even know, some box, I think, was just like the arena and a bunch of parts and 2 Ziploc baggies. It looks like they were probably all donated together or something at some point, given to someone or sold or something. I don't know. 2 Ziploc baggies, one with like two of the different pieces of the Beyblade. And they had the pull things. Oh yeah, like one with like the launchers and the ripcords, and the other one had all the Beyblade pieces. So, but yeah, not worth anything. Apparently, like maybe I might lot them up, and it was a lot of pieces. And I was like, maybe but not worth much apparently.
I thought some of those go for like crazy money.
I did too. Not the ones I was taking a picture of. But there's a lot of different lines. They just came out with a brand new one on YouTube, was saying in 2024, and like all the pieces are not even compatible a lot of the time. And I would notice there was a lot of different ripcords and launchers and stuff. So yeah, but apparently the ones that I was showing, not worth anything. I've been doing that with video game lots too. I know I mentioned that before, but like when I'm selling a lot of video games, and I kind of have that Rolodex in my head of like, okay, Madden 12. Okay, that's a $2 game. Like and like most of those games I know, and I kind of get that little tingly feeling when it's a nice, valuable game. But recently, I've just been taking a picture of everything and uploading it to like Grok or something, and being like, am I missing any games that are worth more than $10 here? And it can go get price charting, and it's just incredible. Like so much of the time, especially Grok is good about like showing you its thought process as it goes. It's really fun.
It's very impressive. Is that free, or do you have to like pay for that?
Yeah, Grok's free, man. As long as you just like continue to upload all of your deepest thoughts and desires to the cloud, they'll continue to get, at least for now.
That's right. I forgot we're the product for AI.
Yeah, they need our data. We are the product for sure. But it's valuable. I mean, it's just wow. It's a crazy time to be alive.
Yeah, that's weird, something. Man. Using AI is something I want to try and make like a better habit of doing.
I think it's just going to start integrated without realizing it. Like already with the item descriptions and the eBay app, and like pretty soon it's going to be title. That'll probably be the next thing. The eBay app will be able to auto create your title based on the photos. They're just going to include that in the eBay app, I'm sure, at some point. Like it'll just be a slow integration. But then there's these bigger apps like Tech and Sports just released an app that's basically just does all of that automatically. Just like you upload the photos and it like creates a description, sets the price. It even tries to estimate measurements based on the photo. It's pretty insane.
Oh, ooh, I don't like that.
It just says like approximate. I think it says approximate measurements or something.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I mean, it's just, it's only going to get better from here. Like this is the worst it's ever going to be. It's only getting better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just the more data is going to help too.
You know how like the, what is it? YouTube Studio gives us like the recommended comments based on like how we talk.
Yeah.
eBay should like do the titles like that based on our other titles that we use.
Smart. Like, yeah. It would be a combination of both. That would be ideal. Like, the way that I like to say it, what item it is, but you also know based on previous items in my store, how I like to title the items.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
It's like I think
eBay's got all that data.
Yeah, I think Poshmark has automatic titles, but from what I've seen, it's not like impressive at all.
Wow, they already have that in the app?
I thought so. I'm not a Poshmark guy by any means, but
actually, I think even Mercari did way back in the day. It was just hilariously bad. It'd be like VCR when it was like an Xbox or something, but it was trying at least.
Was Mercari good at anything?
Bro, no, horrible customer service. Horrible all around. Really, I mean, like I think they're good at the listing experience. That's how they got so much good cheap items out there in the first place. So it was so easy to list. It was just like seconds, like it was snappy to upload the photos. Like that whole experience, I think, was really well done.
Yeah. The one time I ever tried cross listing, I only did it to Mercari. I think I made like 5 sales ever.
Just the stress and like.
Yeah,
because then every time you sell something on eBay, you still have to go back and delist it from Mercari, right?
Yeah,
that's a pain in the butt.
That was a little bit before like the cross listers and stuff, I think. So
yeah. Yeah, dude, Tekken Sports is going to be raking it in soon with that app. The pricing plan is basically 50 cents per listing, and they help do the whole thing. And it's like. And it's like the pitch is like it's cheaper than a VA, and it's basically doing everything your VA was doing, but like automatically, and it's only going to get better from here. Like I understand the pitch.
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
I saw the thumbnail. I didn't click on that yet. I was wondering what that was about.
Yeah, he's been working with somebody else in the group for like 10 months or something, like some programmer or something behind the scenes. He's kind of been hinting at it for a while. It's been pretty obvious. So. Yeah, super good idea. And the interface looks clean, too. I think it's going to go well. It seems like the perfect kind of business to get bought by eBay. If you're like the first one to get big, and they'll just like buy you and like integrate your services.
Yeah.
Like that could be a huge cash out in like 12 months, 18 months.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, especially having someone that's so familiar with the platform being involved in it.
For sure, man. He's the guy. He's like on Business Insider and like all these things. Like, yeah, for sure. How's the? Oh, go ahead.
So we haven't talked about it yet. This might be a long one, so you might want to say what you're gearing up for.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask you how you're doing. No, let's get it. If you got a topic, let's do it, man. No,
I'm doing pretty fantastic. If you must know.
Good.
I was gonna ask the thoughts on the video. I know we had a couple texts, but we haven't spoken about the Pegasus Lounge video yet.
Yeah. It felt a little bit. It's always nerve-wracking if you know somebody's going to be like critiquing your business, and especially being friends with you. I was like, oh, I just hope he's nice, and he was. I feel like he was like really nice and constructive and helpful, and I don't know, it was nice. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not going to agree with everybody 100%, but that's what makes it fun. And yeah, I think the video is fun. He's definitely bringing a different voice to the community, and like, I think more videos like that, like the whiteboard breakdowns, and just being like. He just seemed more open. I don't know. I think it was good. It's like definitely a different strategy than us. Like I'm not trying to tell other people how to run their business necessarily, but I definitely would want to defend my own. And I think he seemed like he kind of understood what was going on. And I don't know if ink cartridges is necessarily going to be your career, but just like hearing how his mind would see that opportunity and then be like, well, how do I like become a wholesaler or something? It's like probably not something I personally would have even thought about. So it was an interesting kind of thought process for sure.
Yeah. I thought there were some comments that were pretty interesting. Like someone mentioned something. I think it was actually in response to like a YouTube short he made responding to a comment. And they basically brought up the point. It's like, you're assuming it's like just because he said that the ink cartridges were doing good, that they were, when we don't actually know what they were doing. There's no numbers behind it. And it's like, they're right. I don't even know if the cartridges were actually good or not. I just know at the time I thought it was awesome. But my standards were so different back then. Like I was happy to be doing like $1,500 net profit. In college, that was a lot of money for me.
Yeah, for sure, man. It is, yeah. In a month, yeah, absolutely.
I can't even tell you what the numbers look like at all. Thinking about it now.
But like, I'm just more of a believer of like everybody's got to find their own path. Like, I don't think it. Like, yeah, I think we need both. We need you need the resellers being able to recycle the old junk to keep the economy going, just like you need people importing new junk at the same time. Like, you know, we're all serving general consumers various stuff that they want. And like, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad he's like definitely a different voice. Like, but in a way, he's also a reseller and like a valid voice as well, for sure. So I'm glad he was nice.
Yeah, me too. I like the tone of the video.
Oh, yeah, no. He had some good ideas. It was like it seemed like it really seemed like he was just like here's some ideas, here's how, and also just like here's how I would have done it, which is like tends to be how I more approach things of like I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if I was in your shoes, maybe I would have gone this direction. Like that's always interesting to think about.
Yeah,
reminds me of like the Marvel what ifs. Did you ever read the what ifs? Those were often my favorites. Oh, there were so many crazy ones. It'd be like, what if the Looney Tunes characters were the Avengers? And sometimes they would have crazy crossovers, or something that would just be like a random thing. Like, what if Aunt May and Uncle Ben never died? Or like just some random, it would just like, and it would often be one-offs or little series, but that's what I find interesting. Just like, what if I was in your life? What if you were in my life? Like, how would you have done it differently? Like, I find that really interesting for sure.
Yeah.
It's almost like what, go ahead.
Something I didn't talk about in the video he was reviewing. I did look a little bit into like going further down like that ink trail, but I wasn't looking for like wholesale ink though. I was looking for pallets. That's why like I was thinking about that. Like, wondering like what your first pallet was like. It's like you know, obviously I was very limited for both money and space at the time. So I had a little 1-bedroom apartment, just me. And then, you know, I'm trying to pay my tuition, so I couldn't be spending a whole bunch of money. Like, it was just risk. You know, it was more risk than I was comfortable with. And like, it was, you know, allowing at that point. But
yeah, I definitely like. I make sure I'm not gonna lose my shirt on a bulk buy. Like, I'm always thinking about if every one of these things is broken or if it's all trash underneath. Like, yeah, because you really, I mean, it's nerve-wracking. Like I was talking about that. I did that one big bulk sale of like $1,800. It ended up being like 2 pallets that I packed up myself. And the guy said he was just going to come and pick them up, but instead he had a trucking company come. So I had to like pack them onto pallets and like, it was actually hilarious because I happen to have a couple pallets on the property. So I like packed it up. I bought some plastic on Amazon on like a roller to like wrap them up. Cause I was like, I've like seen this before. Or, like, I know how they're supposed to be wrapped up in plastic. And the dude came in on his truck to our neighborhood in like a little cul-de-sac middle of nowhere. And he came up and cause he knows they had residential tagged on the thing. And he's like, man, I saw a residential. I was worried coming up here. And he saw that I had him on 2 pallets. And he's like, man, put him here. He's like, he was so stoked. He's like, this is gonna be the easiest job ever. Usually, I bet a bunch of, you know, it's like probably somebody in their house and they're like in their like slippers and probably have no. He thought he's like I think he was expecting some big like auto part or something, and that he was gonna have to figure out how to lift onto the thing. And I'm like, no, man, here you go. Just like wheel it up to the truck. You're good to go. That's funny. But then when we think of it, it's just like the high dollar stuff is stressful, man. Like. Yeah, it's stressful when you're selling expensive stuff. And like that guy sent me a message we were talking about last time. And at the end of the day, his message was just like everything was great, but I was so stressful every time he messaged me because it's like $1,800 on the line. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. The post-transaction messages are always the worst.
Dude, totally. And like people talk about reselling as if like the natural end game of resellers is to like continue to sell more and more expensive stuff until you're like selling yachts or something, or selling mansions, or like flipping like $1 million whatever. But there's just so much that can go wrong on any given transaction, or for somebody to be disappointed in like a high dollar transaction is just, it'd be cool if that was still less than 1% of your net worth. But if you're like continuing to try to flip up and like bet the whole, that's where like house flipping seems like such a stressful job, because often these people are like putting their entire net worth on the next house as they get started. And like some people do lose their shirt, man. Like that's stressful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you post having a commentary video made about you on YouTube? Have you changed anything about your life? Have you? Did you find any commentary that you were like, actually, maybe I should think about this, or
like I'm more continuing the thought. Like I know we've talked about this already. Like I've been trying to like think of clothing related replenishable listings I can get into my store somehow.
Hmm.
I did when I was at Panera bumming off the free Wi-Fi. I was looking at like wholesale like printer ink stuff. Just I don't know. Like I'm not totally against that idea. I guess I don't. I just don't love the idea of putting down like the money up front and then the margins won't be as big and then I have to make them all sell over time.
oh yeah, no, I think that like that the time for the printer ink is probably gone. Like I think it was just like that might have been your train of thought of like if I'm seeing these customers and like I'm finding sales, but I mean like honestly of all the things, not the worst thing to sell, but yeah, it's just like I don't know what. There's also a lot of zeros in that space and a lot of like
Yeah,
brand protection and just I don't know like that, but also that would scare a lot of people away, which now I'm like arguing against myself, and I'm like maybe there is some opportunity there. Like there's always opportunity everywhere, but it's more about figuring out your competitive advantage too. And you're kind of starting from scratch at ink cartridge at this point. Like if you are not able to turn that existing source into something else,
yeah,
you are kind of starting from scratch. And I mean, like any of these fields are, I'm assuming the easy profit is always gone. Like that's just like my general assumption in the
yeah,
world. Essentially, it's like the easy stuff's gone. You just gotta like pick your hard or pick your leverage, like or like figure out your leverage, like locally or your skills wise or whatever. But
yeah,
it's hard.
yeah. Like I was thinking about like how I should have done things differently. I like just knowing myself. I don't think I would have ever done like the third party in cartridge like wholesale. You know, um,
Hmm.
like I think what I should have done maybe at that moment, you know, assuming I had like the cash flow for it, which I don't think I ever would have back then. Like if I could have like tried to set up a deal with that bins place to be like, hey, like if you're getting a bunch of this in your pallets and you don't want that out there, it's like I will just buy it sight unseen for certain
Bro, totally.
for cartridge, you know.
Especially like you were saying once, you said it was often staying in the bins until the final day and you
Yeah,
were swooping them up. That means the management hates that. So they'd love to get rid of it before it even makes it out because that's probably one of their worst items as far as they're concerned. So
yeah. And then
yeah, that's interesting, man.
like I told you, it didn't make it into my video, so he didn't know any of this. But like, eventually, it stopped showing up there. So I don't know if they were. I think they were just buying their stuff from a different source. I think they were
Yeah.
buying pallets that were like really good, and then after they had this whole population hooked on the place, they started buying cheaper stuff, like cheaper.
Or their source dried up. I mean, they're a reseller too, so sometimes their sources dry up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder. But sometimes they do start keeping the good stuff too. I wonder, like they start getting greedy.
right. But like I was also thrifting at that point, and I was finding a good amount of ink at my thrift stores too. And then eventually they stopped putting it out too. So I'm like, I think someone might have beat me to the punch and like went to these thrift stores, like, hey, I'll buy all your ink or whatever.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, that's
It's
something
never too late, man.
tried. You know,
I mean, yeah, never too late. Like you can always be like, I'll pay 50 cents more per unit. Like everything's negotiable. Like it's all money at the end of the day. So
yeah,
yeah, an ink card just being so small and easy to ship, that's like dream inventory. Like like the size of video games, but can still carry a similar value of 20 to 40 bucks a pop. It's pretty juicy.
and it was all the name brand stuff. I was buying it based off the sold comps. If the cartridge didn't have a lot of demand, I wasn't getting it. Only getting the name brand stuff. It's like once you switch over to the wholesale third party stuff, I wouldn't have been into it really. I don't think.
Well, I mean, yeah, that then it becomes starting to look a little bit more like my job, where like if you were to negotiate a relationship, you're going to start to get a bunch of cartridges you wouldn't have bought necessarily, but then it's up to you, or just like it's up to me to decide, like, do I donate this, or do I wait until I have a lot of 10, or do I sell it as a lot of assorted random cartridges and try to get $1 back each or something? Or there's a lot of ways to get creative, and like you kind of have to when you start buying in bulk. Like to get the good stuff, you usually got to deal with a lot of stuff you didn't want to get as well.
Yeah.
That's why I just like shopping at thrift stores is the dream, but it's just like it's almost too good to be true. Just like really being able to cherry pick those like 10x items. It's just so nice. But there's no electronics, there's no video games at the thrift stores around here. Like I looked, like when I first moved here, like they're all gone.
Yeah. The ones in my hometown are not great, the college town I was in had insane electronics, but it was like a no returns store, and it was a little bit more expensive. So like, it was very risky. I think that's why they had electronics, because people weren't buying them as much.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like when you have you ever walked into a thrift store and been like, oh my gosh, they have so much stuff here, and then you look at the prices and you realize why they have so much stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was one
Yeah. Those places that have like eBay sold comps printed out next to it.
Yeah.
Like, well, you listed on eBay then.
Yeah, like at these stores, what are they called? They're called Red Racks. That was the name of the chain. It was so common for them to price stuff over the eBay comps. Like, I'm not sure what was going on in the back to make them do that.
Yeah. I wonder if some of them have their own price lists. Like there's a red, white, and blue thrift store around here that we go to, and all of their clothing is so cheap, except for like 5 brands that it's very clear they just have like a short list in the back. It's like Lululemon, Athleta, where it's like all the other leggings, including a lot of really good leggings, are like $1 to $3. But if it happens to be one of those 5 brands on their list, it's like $20 at the same thrift store. Like they have a brand list, and they're just following the directions, I guess. Yeah, we love red, white, and blue thrift. That's a fun one. They're cash only. They have those like random grab bags of toys and just like plastic bags that are stapled together. Sometimes there's really good stuff in there.
I thought that was a huge chain. Is it not?
It is, and they're cash only. Yeah, it is a huge chain.
I went to one store like that. I went to Austin, Texas, and I was thrifting last year. I don't know if it was red, white, and blue, but I went to a store like that. They had an ATM in the front. It was like cash only.
Same. Were all the cashiers really high up, like some dystopian movie? Yeah, that's red, white, and blue for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was,
have you ever seen that movie Brazil?
Uh-huh.
Terry Gilliam made it, like one of the Monty Python guys, but it's like this like late 80s, a beautiful movie, but it's like super dystopian, and it's about like the government has become like super overwhelming. And there's this one scene I remember him having to like go talk to a bureaucrat, and she's like 2 stories above him at her desk, like looking down at him. It's just like, it reminds me of that red, white, and blue every time.
That's funny. Yeah, their prices were insane, dude.
Like insanely good, right?
Gosh, no. At least for for the shoes, the electronics, and anything behind the counter, the prices were absurdly high.
Oh yes. Well, that's the thing. If it's on their list, this is that's the place I'm talking about. This is red, white, and blue. If it's a Lululemon, it's like the same price as a brand new pair of leggings. Basically, they way overprice it, and like anything but there's very little stuff in the glass case usually. And there's like a pair of Jordans that's like hanging up on the back behind them. It's like way overpriced that no one's ever gonna buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their shoes actually are expensive now that I'm thinking. We almost never buy shoes there. Their shoes are kind of overpriced.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it was insane. That's like the type of store, like I'd go there just if I'm looking for like vintage or something. That's what it feels like. So they got a bunch of old musty stuff out there on the rack. I Googles don't really put old stuff out these days.
Yeah, and I see those random grab bags. I'm like, this is my kind of thrift store. Let me do the work. That's great.
Are they clear? Like you can see what's in them at least?
Yeah. So you can like kind of like look around and see what figures they've included. They just kind of like generally group them, but sometimes it's a bunch of like Ninja Turtles figures or something cool, you know?
Dude, that's why I love Savers. Savers does the same thing, except it's a nice like clean shopping experience. So I can go look at all the clothes and look at all like the random junk and bag.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I had one find in one of those bags. It was just 2 old iPod classics. I sold, I think, one of them for $200 and the other for $150. It was like a $3 bag. It was so awesome.
Yeah, people still love the iPod Classic. They take them apart and put more memory inside and stuff. But like, it's for audio quality. I think it's actually really good. And so, like, if you like actually plug it in your headphones, like that's a good one.
Yeah.
My kids have iPods. They love them so much. We have them little iPod Nanos.
Yeah.
So it's like not internet connected, but it is Bluetooth connected. So they can like put it on their speakers and stuff. And I just downloaded a bunch of episodes of their favorite like podcasts and then a bunch of their favorite music, like Kids Bop and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just like jamming out all day or like sharing songs on their speakers and stuff. It's cute.
That's so cool.
But also like, yeah, it's disconnected from the internet still. But yeah, the latest, the iPod Nano 7th generation, which is still like 13 or 14 years old now, but it looks almost like an iPod with like apps. It was like right when Apple was switching over to like having clickable apps, which they're used to on a touchscreen, which they can use. It was like they weren't using the wheel anymore.
That's the one. It's like it's kind of rectangular, and you can fit like 2 apps wide on it. It's got a little touchscreen in it. Yeah,
exactly. But they're not real apps. Like you can't install more apps or anything. It's just
that was a good model to sell. I remember that one.
It has Bluetooth. It was the only iPod Nano that so you can like connect your AirPods to. It's like Bluetooth 1.0. So the range is like 10 feet, but it does work. And it's got everything you need. You can load up your songs and it's just, and like Apple products are just so easy to use. Like they made them for grandma. So like, of course my kids like took right to them. They figured it out in like 2 seconds. It's just, it's the coolest thing. Yeah, when I started having to video edit for YouTube here, it was like the first time in a long time I wished I had a Mac again, because like I loved using iMovie. Like I knew I could do that, and I was so intimidated by like just taking on some Windows interface to try to learn. So I literally just Googled programs like iMovie for Windows and just like did some reading and ended up on CapCut. That's what I use now. It's pretty easy. What do you use? What's your editing process?
I use CapCut too.
On the computer or your phone?
No, on the computer.
Cool. Yeah, same. Yeah, cool. I just guessed on the quality settings. Have you done any research on that? I was just like, that seems... I don't know. I just picked a random number, like 60,000 or 600,000 bit rate or something. I was like, I don't know. And I looked at the estimated file size, and I'm like, that seems reasonable. I was just like literally guessing. I have no idea.
I have not put a lot of time into like the back end of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I don't
think it matters that much.
I don't want to have to like invest that much time into it. It's basically just a hobby, you know.
You don't have a bunch of people complaining that on their 4K TVs there's too much pixelation. It's not a high enough bit rate. Like, bro. I've actually been surprised. I'm looking at the analytics, and like a surprising number of people watch YouTube on their phones. It's kind of cool. I mean, not on their phones, obviously on their phones, but on their televisions, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can go check. I know it's the biggest slice of my graph is for TV. I think it's like 45% of my viewers.
Whoa. TV. Okay, I'm curious. Actually, we should compare. Or where are you going? Analytics, and then what, audience?
Yeah, I think it's under audience somewhere. Yeah, device type, watch time.
Oh yeah.
So 42% on TV. The next closest is mobile with 33%.
Yeah, similar. Even a bigger gap for me. 46% TV to 27% mobile is the next closest. Over 20% difference. That's almost 50% of people watching it on the TV.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
So interesting.
Do you think it's because we do like long form content? Like we both make videos that are like at least 30 minutes plus, but most of mine come in at like 45-ish. And
you just like put it on the TV for like background sound or something?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, while you're doing chores or something. I'm sure a lot of people do it while they're working.
Yeah. Like, and that's how I treat it, but just with the AirPods in instead of the TV. But it seems similar. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if it is more of like, the more long form you are. That's interesting. Inside YouTube with Ethan and Joe. Man, I have like probably 100 guitars I need to list. I gotta only list my biggest things right now. So it's like video game steering wheels and those big old pedals and the drum sets and the guitars. Like I gotta get them out of my house as quick as possible. And then I can focus on the fun stuff, the controllers and the consoles and the cables. But like those are just smaller, and I can put them in a box. But like this stuff is taking over my house right now.
Yeah, I need to get rid of my stuff so I can go thrifting again, dude.
It's a good attitude. Do you try to always list all your stuff before you go out again, or like in general, just like that's the goal?
I like thrifting too much.
I love it too.
You know, it was like I pick through and I take out the good stuff, and then I have like a couple bad items left at the bottom of the pile. Then I'll go get more stuff, and then just all the bad stuff just like filters its way down to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to dig through the bottom, get some of that out of here. But...
Yeah, I had one corner of my garage that had become that. I kept shoving my like less and less desired inventory back there, and I finally purged the beast. I was just like donate or make a decision on it, and I finally got rid of it in the last couple months. It felt good, but it's so natural. But I'm trying now, like on a micro scale, like every time I'm like dealing with a box, I have to deal with the whole box. Like I'm trying not to avoid that monster growing again.
Is your garage entirely for eBay?
Like 100%. I mean, we have like an extra freezer in there because it's downstairs and it's close to the kitchen, so that's like for personal use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've like taken it over, and it's very similar. We did the exact same thing with our food carts. When my wife and I opened our food cart, we were like renting a house, and we just like took over whatever house we were in. The entire garage would just be wire racks full of like, for the food cart, it'd be like cardboard cups and like to-go containers and all the stuff that was like non-perishable, like cans of beets and stuff like that. And like it's just always been our thing of just like we're making money out of our house, and we are just pretty light on the personal belongings. So like we have a couple of things up in the attic, like our extra camping supplies and stuff, but we're just pretty light in general. We just don't have that much stuff, I think.
I'm finally to the photograph process.
Nice.
I was taking my time inspecting. I only had one flawed item. I made a rookie mistake, and I cut the tag off before I checked it all the way. So I thought it was good, but now the tag's gone, so I can't return it. Big old hole on these. I don't know if you can even see that.
Yeah.
Gaping hole on some track pants. I don't know if I'm supposed to list them or not. They might still sell for like $15. Unfortunate.
It's too bad. I wish there was an easier. Maybe there is. I think it's maybe like a pocket serger, a little pocket sewing machine, but or if you could just like easily have a sewing machine just ready to go for small repairs like that.
Yeah,
just,
I think I don't know.
It seems intimidating.
Yeah, I need to give that another shot. I tried learning how to use the sewing machine so I could repair stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know if like the sewing machine I was using was broken or something, but I was so horrible at it, I quit.
They're hard to do.
I couldn't get it. Like I was just messing everything up further, and I was like making these big like rat's nests and like all these knots. It was bad.
Yeah. My mom is an absolute whiz at that stuff. She always has been, like so good at sewing, and like I think it's all in her head. But a lot for mere mortals like us, you got to look at the diagram. But even just like where the diagram of where to string the initial thread is like 10 steps sometimes, like around this thing and through this and around this just to get it started. And like it's so complicated. I was shocked.
Yeah, I had to pull up a whole like tutorial video just before I could even start pressing the on button.
And I've watched, I don't know how many times I've tried to like watch like an animation of how a sewing machine actually works. I still don't get it. Maybe that's my problem. Like fundamentally, it seems like magic to me. I don't know how it's making all the everything happen with just a single thread. It seems like magic to me.
Yeah.
It's one of those cool mechanical things that still has a lot of relevance these days. Like so many things are becoming digitized, but like, fixing cloth. It's gonna be a hard one to replace.
Yeah,
I even heard. No, go ahead.
I saw something so cool. It was related to like vintage clothing. Like someone wanted a collector I watch. He sells and collects, but he had this really old piece he wanted repaired, and he wanted it repaired like with a time like accurate piece of equipment. So we had to like find someone with like a 30s machine that could repair this. Cool. It would have been back then. So cool.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
And was the intention to sell it or just as a collector?
No, I think that was just a personal piece.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That's so cool.
Oh yeah.
You got to respect that.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff I love about the vintage community. It's like that, and then like there are guys that like collect wooden hangers just so they can like hang their vintage stuff on a vintage hanger too.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, man. Did you ever do like reenactments, like field trips, reenactments, like school field trips or anything growing up?
Not through school, but my dad was super into like history and war stuff, so we would go watch like war reenactments sometimes.
Yeah, like a Civil War or what kind of war reenactments? What was the
mostly World War II?
Huh. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. We were big into Call of Duty back then. That was like, for me and my brother and my dad, like that was our thing. We just played Call of Duty whenever mom wasn't around. She didn't like the violent games as much.
Yeah, I get that.
It was Call of Duty time.
Yeah, Street Fighter was more of a game I played at my friend's house. That was not one that came home for sure. I remember that. I remember my first time playing Street Fighter. I was like shocked. And then Mortal Kombat. Like, there's blood in video games? Are you serious? I was shocked. I remember the first time I saw the first 3D game was Mario 64. My buddy from down the street had an N64. Got Mario 64. I could not believe it. We're playing it up on this like tiny little CRT up in his mom's room upstairs, but I just like could not wrap my head around the fact that you could look completely around. Just awesome. And that first part of Mario 64 still, like looking back, is so well designed. Even my kids have had so much fun playing it. I don't know if you remember the first part of Mario 64, you get dropped in front of the castle and there's no bad guys around, like Toad's waiting for you or somebody's waiting for you at the entrance, but they're kind of encouraging you to just run around and explore the environment and like get used to being in a 3D world. And like I would just spend hours in that front yard of the castle just playing around.
Yeah, that's like my only memory of that game is like not figuring out where I had to go.
There's a cool little like remake basically on the DS, Mario 64 DS, which is so confusing. Yeah. But they've like remade it, but it has like all these extra bonuses. That whole first part, there's like extra side quests to do. Like you have to be chasing rabbits in the front yard before you even go inside.
Yeah.
And you can like choose different characters with different skills. And it adds a lot to the game. It's really fun. Dude, that N64 controller was so weird, though. What a decision they made.
I thought that was like the coolest thing ever, dude. That was like, let's see. So I was born in '98, so I guess like the GameCube probably would have been the first Nintendo console that like was new to me. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know anyone with one. So the only Nintendo consoles I really knew were the NES and then the N64. And the N64, like especially next to it, NES, it's like a spaceship.
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah. And looking back, like some of the games aged well, some don't at all. I remember loving Quest 64, like an RPG, and it's pretty rough looking back. But like just the freedom of being able to walk around, especially as a kid, it was just like so incredible.
Yeah,
I probably would have loved Grand Theft Auto, but I was definitely not allowed to play Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. They talk about just like the freedom you can have, running around, do whatever you want.
Yeah. When I was I don't know, I was probably in middle school. It's like this is like my first like eBay story too. The first thing I ever bought on eBay was a used Nintendo 64.
No way.
I got that, and then I got it's like it came with a couple like really low tier games. I don't even remember. Like I think Pokemon Snap was one of them.
Okay, that's a decent game, but it's slow. It's not exciting.
Yeah, and like I wasn't even into Pokemon, so like I think I played it like one time. But I got
if you're not into Pokemon, that game has no appeal. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I got like my main attraction was Star Fox 64.
Oh, that's such a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, I put a lot
So
of
fun. I still hear their little chatter in my head sometimes.
Do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll.
Yeah, that was an amazing game.
Oh yeah. I wish I had the cooler controllers though. My uncle had the atomic purple one. I wanted that one so bad.
Dude, that definitely the best one. Definitely my favorite too. Love and the atomic purple variant. There was an atomic purple Game Boy Advance, and I think a Game Boy Color too, maybe. I'm just such a sucker for like the clear electronics. If you can get anything clear,
yeah,
it's like my generation. I'm like, look, there's circuit boards inside. It's so cool. What was your like first video game memory?
Ooh. Let's see. Which one that comes to mind? So I had a Game Boy Advance. I had a purple Game Boy Advance growing up. Like I don't even remember when I got it. I think it was at Christmas, and I would have been super young, like probably less than 10. And then I think like less than a year after I got that, the neighbor kid down the street, his dad owned like a lawn care company. It's like they were always getting like new cars and stuff, and like they always had like really cool stuff. He got a Game Boy Advance SP, and just like the difference in those two things, like the SP was so much cooler. Like,
it had a backlight, right? The Game Boy Advance, you had to like hold it in the light to be able to see, right?
I had like the clip-on light so I could play when it was dark.
The worm light. Was it the worm light? It was kind of like twisty. And then
Yeah.
you can kind of like angle it. Yeah.
So, and I wanted to get the SP. It was just so cool. Like folding it folds. Come on, is it the backlight?
I remember the SP. The SP was like my first device as a kid with a rechargeable battery, I think. And that was just, instead of having to beg my parents to go to Costco and buy me new batteries for my Game Boy, I felt so empowered. Like, this is all I need forever. I can play as much as I want.
Oh, yeah. You're an adult now, baby.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, the SP is still such, I love, it's just such an elegant machine. Like a lot of the portable emulator companies, even to this day, are like making clones of the same outer shell of the Game Boy Advance SP. It's just such a good little design.
Yeah.
I'll test this out. Dude, my first memory is like upstairs at like some family event playing Super Mario, and then like getting to the end boss. I don't know if it was Bowser or one of the lesser end bosses, and I think I only had one life left, and pausing it and then being like, okay, who of the family could help me out with this, because I can't let it go. So I chose the youngest uncle. I'm like, he can help me out. He plays video games for sure. He was probably in his 20s at that point, and he came through. He beat the boss for me. That was like my first memory.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever get buyers that message you multiple times just asking for positive feedback? Or do you have like the automatic feedback thing?
No, I just have automatic feedback. So I've actually never gotten. Do people do that? Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never turn mine on just because like it doesn't really do anything for me. Maybe like increases the likelihood that I get positive feedback in return, but I'm not really bothered by it. I have someone that's just spam messaging me right now saying like copy and paste it.
Oh my gosh. It's so annoying. Yeah, there's some setting, I think. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like once the order's been completed or something, it is positive feedback.
Yeah, I don't think
that's fine.
Buyer feedback. But...
Yeah, and it's not like you can leave a negative buyer feedback anyway. So it's not like you're giving up all this power that you would have had. It's not like you can really give your feedback in any case.
Yeah. And I got these freaking Dazzle shorts. I didn't realize till just now. It's like, I guess they're stretched out. They're tagged small, and they fit up to like a 30 waist. But like, I just noticed it says like boys small underneath the tag. It's like, these are youth. I didn't even know.
Dude, That looks way too big for a boy's small. Like, it looks like I could fit into those.
It, like, a lot of times on these vintage shorts, like the elastic gets like rotted out, so they fit bigger. But like the elastic still has some like pull to it.
It's weird. Some big boys out there.
I don't know. Like I think these will still sell. It's just weird because the name for some of these is based on like a fetish, so it feels weird. Something like a
oh, it's fine. let the adults have their fun. Did I see a kitty going up and down the stairs earlier?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Do you have multiple cats?
Yeah. So I decided that I really like to waste all my time lint rolling my clothes. So I got a cat and one white cat.
Oh my gosh. Just to make sure that the hair will show up no matter what the fabric is, essentially.
Yeah. I have to buy my lint rollers in bulk.
Oh my gosh. I did see one person saying that instead of a lint roller, they just got a really powerful vacuum with like some kind of a scrub brush, and they would just go up and down their stuff with that, and it was like a little bit more like, you know, sustainable or like more economical at the end of the day or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would work the same way though. Sometimes those hairs get so caught up in like the fibers that I just have a hard time believing a suction's gonna get them out of there.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to keep like whatever the piece is like held down during all that too.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't know how they. Yeah, especially like a gentle fat, like a sweater or something. Like, yeah, no, that actually seems stupid now that I'm thinking about it. Obviously, not a clothes seller. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they had some other trick that I missed. Yeah, because that makes no sense. We get a decent amount of stuff listed here today. This is awesome. I got all of them done.
I've been moving a little slow. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I might be going back and realizing I'm like mistagging like half of these as I'm like trying to talk and like and just like balance it. Like it is more stuff to handle, but it's so fun. I love chatting with you on these things. Dude, it's so cool. My uncle wanted to see all the analytics today. We were chatting over lunch because he was literally one of my first 40 subscribers, and like before I even started posting YouTube content, and he was just so fascinated by it. He wanted to see like all the breakdowns. It was great.
That's so much fun to look at all that.
Dude, I love it. Try not to get lost in it. Like I found myself, you know, when you first start your eBay store, you're like checking it all the time. And I'm just like getting so much dopamine. I'm just like, can't wait for the next sale. I'm like just pulling down to refresh and all that. And eventually that kind of goes away. And then I started the YouTube channel and it starts to be kind of the same thing after a while of just like, but I found myself like checking my YouTube way more than my eBay. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, yeah, YouTube's fun, but like I'm getting, you know, I made like $1,000 on YouTube, but like I'm trying to do $1,000 a day on eBay. Now that's not profit, but still we're talking about like different stratospheres here. But like, I don't know, man. Making money on YouTube is like messing with my head a little bit. It's like the social validation, like the money coming in, and I'm glad I'm old enough to like recognize how like toxic it could be. I think because I don't know. Yeah, it's tricky, man. It's a lot wrapped up in one, especially for me. Once you start wrapping up like making money in it as well, like I'm not immune to like all the social and like the nice comments and the likes and stuff. That feels good too. But like that and making money of like I can see it being like intoxicating in a way, but like it could be becoming toxic too. And like the reason like every single YouTuber ends up talking about burnout at one point or another, because like it's a hard cycle to continue to feed forever.
Yeah. I was stuck in the same thing. Like, even though I haven't posted in like weeks, I'm still like going into my studio app and just like looking to see like I haven't done anything. I don't know what I'm expecting the numbers to
it's just like dopamine seeking behavior. Like your brain is like looking for like the reward that it's used to when you go search that area. It's like foraging behavior, right? Like I've gone to this bush, I've gotten berries from here before. It feels good. I just want to go check it just to see. There might be a new berry today. Maybe it'll pop up. Just like checking the fridge. Sometimes I'll just like open the fridge and just stare because like I get goodies in there, but I'm like, I'm just like, my brain's like seeking something. Like I'm not even hungry, but like my brain is looking for like a treat or something. I do the same thing.
My big things. It's like just being able to say that I make any amount of money from YouTube, like made my ego go up so much, dude. Yeah. I just felt so cool. And then like now once you have like some subscribers, like YouTube will like notify people like when you leave a comment. It's like just getting like a lot more like acknowledgement from like the people you watch. That also like ooh. I'm just starting to like recalibrate now. I'm like, I don't want to post just for like views. I just want to make something I like again. That's what it feels like at least.
Same. I think that's just, and that's what every content creator, when they do post the, the burnout video that so many people do, what they end up coming back to is like, I just want to get back to making the videos that I enjoy creating back before it became this thing that whatever it was that was overwhelming, or I put this pressure on myself to do X. And then you see so many of them just wanting to go back to just like podcast content or long form content, or just like stuff that is more genuine, because like, I don't know, like that high production value can have a lot. I think that has a lot to do with it. When you just continue to put those expectations on yourself that you're like, your video is supposed to look like something, or it's supposed to look like the previous video. Like I even found myself doing that. Like even as I was like just starting the YouTube video, I'd be like, well, my viewers are probably expecting a video like this because I've done that before. And I'm like, my 300 viewers are I'm like, there's an entire world. Like I just need to be making content that I like. Like what am I doing worrying about disappointing the expectations that 300 people may or may not have? Like it's so easy to fall into that. And like but then as it grows, it becomes less and less sustainable. Like how are you going to create content to perfectly please all these people as you get more and more subscribers? Like it's just impossible. I think you just got to make it stuff that you like stuff that maybe that you wish existed, or stuff you like making at the end of the day. That's like that cliche advice that you hear from all the seasoned creators of just like, stick with what you love, make content that you wish existed in the world. Like that's what I think that it's one of those cliches. It's probably cliche for a reason. I'm sure like, just posting anything. I think that the best YouTube creators are the ones who are able to post through the ups and the downs, Like I find myself being like, oh, I'm feeling sick, so I don't want to make a video this week. And yet I love when the content creators that I watch are like, oh, I'm feeling really sick today, but I'm still going to make a video, and it is what it is. And that's like a realistic look into their life. And like, I appreciate that, but I'm over here being like, oh, I'm too sick, and I have these expectations. Like, what expectations? Like, people want to see the real stuff a lot. Of like, there's not everyone, but there are viewers for that, and like that just seems so much more genuine to me. Yeah, it's easy to get inside your own head.
Yeah, I think that's like the best stuff, though.
Yeah,
it's like just what you're saying. Like everyone needs a little bit of that. That's what everyone sees. All like, I just broke my record and I made $1 bajillion last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that was a common comment I got when I did like the reseller therapy videos, talking about like the, all the mental effects of like watching these super like high performing people. It's like very common comment was like, I appreciated this. Like I feel a lot of the same feelings.
Yeah. That's cool. That's also cool that your viewers appreciate that kind of realness. Like that you're kind of like on the right track, like that was positive.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
But, the comments on that were like very like freeing for me. A lot of very nice people there.
I probably listed 25 guitars so far. I just had to pull out a new bin into the room.
Nice. How many minutes we at? An hour and 8? You got to do your next.
That's fun.
Hour 7.
What's that?
It's like you got to do the next 20 whatever in an hour and 7.
Yeah, I could go way faster. Actually, the light is getting really good right now coming in through this window.
Nice.
I found myself actually getting less. I'm less of a perfectionist now about photos than when I started.
Oh yeah.
Like I've seen so many sold comps with like the worst photos. I just like I don't think people care. I think that makes it even seem real these days, you know?
Yeah. Anytime I'm buying something, I'm trying to see if there's someone that like doesn't have a stock photo. I want to be able to see it.
Yeah, same.
Like maybe that's because I'm mostly buying used items. Like I want to see the actual thing. I want to know that you actually have it.
Yeah. I think that's that's a trust thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've heard so many people, but again, it's just like people who are like wanting to mess around with stuff instead of actually doing the work of eBay. But you can like use AI to like take a picture of a shirt and then have an AI like modeling the shirt and a bunch of like fake pictures like in a field wearing but it's like that's not a real picture of the item. Like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like this is not a photo shoot. Like this is I don't know. I mean, I guess it is. You know, maybe for some people, that's just not my audience. But maybe there is an audience like Poshmark. You can see a little bit more artistic flair in the photos sometimes, and there is an audience for that. You can maybe even get more money if it looks like it was in a nice studio or something. But
yeah, like I'm pretty sure like eBay even tells you like try to take like realistic pictures of your item.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's the best way. Is just realistic. Yeah. Yeah, when I see editing, I'm always suspicious. Like if you were already in that editing app, are you also like deleting blemishes on the item or you cutting around it? You never know. I gotta say, I just upgraded my iPhone from the 12 Pro Max.
Yeah.
And at this point, taking this many photos, my 12 Pro Max would have been like so hot in my hands at this point. And the new phone's doing a lot better at the longer listing sessions. I appreciate that.
That's nice.
It's like the one benefit. Not worth. It's so weird that people talk about planned obsolescence and Apple. I think maybe they earned that reputation earlier on, but these days it seems like Apple products of anything in the world last the longest, get the longest software. Like name an Android product that still gets software updates as long as an iPad or an iPhone. Like, good luck getting the latest Android, but like Apple, like that 12 Pro Max still runs all the apps. It gets the latest iOS updates. Like that's from like 4 or 5 years ago. It's pretty impressive. Like I always hear planned obsolescence and like Apple together, but maybe I missed that era. But it seems like Apple of all the tech companies is like really good at supporting older tech. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there must have been some controversy or something.
What I remember, like I can remember them getting hit with a lawsuit about that, but like
maybe okay,
that's a valid reason though. Like it was like they were slowing stuff down, but it would keep the batteries from like dying out too fast or overheating or something.
Oh yeah, they were just slowing down the processor speed because as the lithium batteries age, I remember that. I think people just don't understand like the chemistry of the batteries, but like you have to slow down the processor because if the processor is trying to draw too much power with an older battery, sometimes the battery will just shut down for a second and you'll end up losing all your work and your phone just reboots basically. So like you have to limit it as you get, especially as you get to the lower battery percentages and especially on the older batteries. Like, yeah, they were slowing it down, but that was like to keep it from crashing, basically. Yeah. Like they were, I think that, yeah, that was like so not deserved, that reputation. But like Android phones are not like, it's so hard to get like the latest Android on a phone. Like they almost never ported it. Like it's not the same. But like iPhone 12 Max is still getting the latest iOS updates. I've always been mixed. I've always had a PC and then an iPhone. I can't choose. I have no loyalties. The one thing I can never do elegantly is if there's some text on my phone, like in my messaging app, and I want to get it onto my computer, I end up just like emailing it to myself.
Yeah.
It seems so clunky. I feel like there should be a better, like, if you could just be like watching my clip. I mean, I'm sure if there's a Mac, I think maybe you can share your clipboard or something. But like, it's always seemed like my phone and my computer should be able to talk to each other so much more efficiently than they can.
Yeah.
Are you a gamer at all these days? Do you game at all?
The only game, okay, I was playing a lot of Marvel Rivals.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, I want to hear about that.
Oh man, how much time do you have?
Well, so I was really big into Overwatch, and I think all the Overwatch players went over to Marvel Rivals because it's a very similar kind of team-based game, but Marvel Rivals has a lot less of the balancing problems that Overwatch has developed. So I'm into the genre, but I've never played Marvel Rivals. But I love everything about it. I think I love the idea of it. I'm just I just like not letting myself play it right now, basically.
That's funny. I'm from like the complete opposite background. So I only play multiplayer games because if I'm gaming, it's just like I can be in the party and talk to my friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never played a hero shooter like that. I never played Overwatch. And I'm really not even that big into like superhero movies, honestly. Like a lot of the characters in there, like I didn't even know who they were.
Okay, got it. But at least you recognize some of them. Like sometimes that's an overwhelming part of one of those games. Is like there's like 30 new characters. You're trying to keep them all straight because you're gonna have to know what their powers are so you can avoid them sometimes. And,
I think that was my big problem. It's like I have a friend who's really big into this game called Smite, and like it's there's like lanes and you pick your god, and like at the time he was trying to get me to play, there was like over 100 gods. I can't even prepare myself for this fight because like I don't know who I'm looking at, and even if I did, I don't know what their powers are. But with Rivals, there's a lot of recognizable characters, so I can kind of guess what they're gonna do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Know what the goal is. So yeah, this is my first hero shooter. I really loved it. I like the genre a lot.
How many on each team in Rivals?
6.
6. Okay, that's an old school Overwatch. Overwatch changed from 6 to 5, and I think in retrospect, a lot of people did not like that change.
Huh. Did they say why?
I don't remember. I am sure they did. I don't remember what it was. I'm sure they did. Well, that's basically like when they released Overwatch 2, they just decided to make it a 5-player game. I don't know if they were super clear about why. But Overwatch 2 just swallowed Overwatch 1. Like Overwatch 1 no longer exists. So they kind of forced you to go to a 5-player. And it just changed all the dynamics. I don't know, I'm sure they were getting a lot of complaints and we're just like trying to fix some things. But I don't know.
So, what did they do? Do they have
what class do you like to play? What do you like? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Whatever you want.
That's tough. So there's only 3 classes that it's tank, DPS, and healer. They call them like Vanguard, strategist, and something.
Got it.
So I started out mostly healing. I was playing Cloak and Dagger. I have no clue what they're from. I guess they have like comics or something. But
the character's name is Cloak and Dagger?
Yeah, it's 2 people. It's kind of like a stance changer. I don't know if Overwatch has anything like that.
Yeah, there's people that have like mech suits. They can turn like different modes. Yeah.
So it's like if you're on what's her name? Dagger, like she's the one that's doing the healing, but you can press a button and switch into Cloak, and he does like all the damage stuff.
Okay. Yep.
And then once like other people were getting better at like playing healer, I started playing Groot. He's a tank. That was super fun. But then he started in competitive. It's like I just I'd queue in trying to play Groot, then he'd get banned, and then all the healer spots are already filled. And I'm like, man, I don't know.
Interesting. So there's a banning. So that was not. So are players able to vote on a couple of characters that they want to ban?
Yeah.
For that round, or how does that work?
Yeah. So only in competitive and only at certain ranks. But each team gets 2 bans. You can repeat bans. Like you and the other team can ban the same persons. Like there's possible like wasted picks.
Can you see what they're banning as you're picking, or it's like blind?
It's just like a timer goes and it tells you what each team banned.
I guess you'd have to know because you have to pick the characters, of course. Yeah, what am I thinking? Yeah,
The thing I hate about it is so it's not like you all vote and then whatever has the most votes wins. It's like a percentage based pick. So if 5 people voted, 4 of them voted for one person, there's an 80% chance it's that pick. So it's
that's cool actually.
It's like I hated it because I'm always in a party. It's like me and my friends like will want to ban someone. And then like 2 of our randoms will also want to ban that person. And then there's always one person just banning a random character. Yeah. And I swear it always hits like every time they call them like, dilute picks. Every time there's a dilute, it gets hit.
I see. I can see that reducing the team like morale or something. That's like a weird dynamic to include in the game of just like you're kind of mad at your teammate for. And like, and it's good for the one guy out of the 5 to like feel like his vote counted, I guess. But like, I don't know, it's a team game. Like, it's better if you can all get on the same page. If you're like incentivized to get on the same page first, that's interesting.
Yeah, dude, it always, every time, it always messes with the team morale. And a lot of times, what will happen is like they won't pay attention to like what everyone on the team is trying to play. It's like I'll pick Groot. And then, like, we all go to, like, ban someone, and then the one person votes to ban Groot. And then Groot gets banned, and I can't play Groot anymore. It's like, that's always terrible.
Yeah. So you can change your votes between rounds? Like, can you, like, see that you're getting smashed by a certain strategy and change your vote, or do you have to choose ahead of time?
Once the game starts, it's locked in.
Okay. That's actually cool, because then it's just, like, if your whole team has agreed that a certain character is toxic, or just like maybe your strategy is weak to one guy, you can all agree, but you can't like just like choose to ban someone because they're crushing you. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Huh. That's fun. I like to be in the healers too.
Yeah. Did they have role-based queues or no in Overwatch?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have that. That's one of the tough parts is like you just kind of have to hope like your teammates like fill in spots that you need them.
Oh, that's too bad. That seems like such a simple feature to add. Or just like, and lets everyone be able to play what they actually wanted to play when they like opened up the game in the first place.
Yeah. It's like what happens a lot. It hasn't been a huge issue for me in competitive, but in quick play, like if you started a quick play game and it's like 5 people immediately choose DPS.
Of course, that's what I was gonna say. Of course, all the noobs are choosing DPS. Classic, like every video game ever. Yeah. Yeah, that's frustrating because like you need at least like one experienced DPS on your team. Like you can't just like. Yeah, that's frustrating. So even in competitive, there's no role queue.
Nope.
That's weird.
So like usually it's usually fine. Like in comp, people are like actually trying, but there's sometimes like I don't care. It's like you're going down with me.
Yeah, everybody gets toxic sometimes for sure. It's just like I'm sure it's fine if you have a bunch of friends in your team, but yeah, it can be tough.
I have not played. It's probably been a couple weeks since I've played last, but I went back to Rocket League. Just turned 10 years old, still going.
You went back to the what?
I went back to Rocket League because Rivals was making me mad.
Yeah, I never got into Rocket League. I missed that train. I like watching it though. At least I can understand what's happening, which I appreciate. Just like you're saying, these games with so many characters, like League of Legends seems interesting, but like trying to watch a stream of League of Legends with like, they have like 100 characters. Like I have no idea what's going on. It's so hard to appreciate what's happening.
Yeah.
League of Legends is especially nutty because like everything's happening all at once, like 5v5 or whatever it is, 4v4 on the screen at once. There's just insane.
And I used to be into I was into Apex Legends for a long time, and it's like one of those. I forget what it's called, like the Fortnite style game. What is that genre called?
Battle Royale, kind of.
Battle Royale. It's like in the pro games, like when the storm is like closing in, like there's just like so many teams, like more than like a normal lobby. It's like once it gets just tight enough that people have to leave cover and everything all explodes at once. It's so insane.
That's fun. That sounds fun. How big are the teams in Apex? Is it 2?
It's 3, and then what was it? I think it was like 20 teams of 3 or something.
Oh, that's a fun concept. That's cool.
Yeah. I loved that game because there's usually 3 of us playing in my party, so that was perfect for us.
No, totally. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's search this one. Nice. I'm hitting a groove with this work over here. Getting done. I think I get more excited selling stuff because it leaves my house than the money sometimes. Sometimes.
I think I get the biggest boost out of selling something I think is cool.
Yeah, like something that's so cool and like obscure enough that you know whoever's buying this is gonna probably appreciate it.
Yeah. Like there'll be a lot of things like my Goodwills. You put the date like that they made the tag there. So like I can see something, I'm like, this has been sitting up here for like a week and no one's bought it. Like I love when I sell something that I know is like sitting out on the rack for a while. I'm like, you guys all just passed it up. I just left it for them.
That'd be a fun short. That's a fun energy to capture. I'd be like, I just watch that and get a hit of that. Like, yeah, that's right. Get him. Y'all caught y'all sleeping. Here's another one. My kids love the thrift store. I'm happy. Got a couple little thrifters.
That's nice. I hope mine like the thrift store. I'm not sure what option they're going to have, to be honest.
I mean, it's cool, especially the thrift stores. There's a couple places around here that have put the toys on the very top shelf in between the racks of clothing.
Yeah.
So you have to like reach over, and it's like very clear that they don't want the kids, because I'm sure at every Goodwill, if you have the toys down, there's going to be some parent who lets their kids play with them and doesn't clean it up, and like half of it's going to be on the floor at the end of the day, which is probably a huge pain in the butt for the employees.
Yeah.
But we always of course want to go to the thrift stores that have the toys available to be tested. That's like the best part of going to the thrift store as a kid.
Yeah.
This is one I have not sold in a while. The red fender. This one's kind of a rare variant. I'll try to sell it for 40.
Huh. Is that the Rock Band one?
Yeah, it's Rock Band 3 for what system is this?
That looks like a 4 for some reason. Like I've never seen that.
Yeah, it literally says Rock Band 3 on the back. Like, I need to do more research. I think it's Wii. It's got to be Wii. Yeah, plus and minus. You gotta tell it. Yeah, only Wii has the plus and minus there. That's a weird one.
Is that? I think that's the only one that doesn't have like the like their console logo on it, right?
No, not at all. This is the Mad Cat, so it's like a third party.
Oh.
But no, it doesn't say what system it's for anywhere. It's so weird.
I know that you have like your money rule that if you have like any little like gadget for the business that you want, you just buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you've been like looking at like potentially getting for yourself?
Well, so I made that claim when I was on the Profit Playbook podcast yesterday. I was like, man, I've got all the toys, and both Bearded Picker and Flippin' Ain't Easy John were like, really? And so they both have the really fancy water tape machine with like the preset lengths, so you can just like push a button and it'll spit out 18 inches of like pre-moistened tape. and you can just like place it right on top of your box, and it like seals, and it's like brown color, and it's like the kind that Amazon uses, so you can tear it open by hand, and it's silent. It would be better for packing videos, honestly, because like it's silent, but I think it's still way more expensive per foot than plastic tape, but it is a better user experience. And he was saying you can like seal up boxes with it, do like Frankenboxing a lot easier. So you got everything. I think it's like, I don't know, $800 or something like that. It's not cheap.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for tape, for like tape that may, and I don't know if you know why it's like water activated tapes. I think there's like a reservoir or something of water inside, and so as it spits out the tape, it's like rolling water on it to like activate the stickiness, and you can just like place it on. But I don't know, it's advanced.
Yeesh.
Is there anything you got your eye on? Any gadgets?
No, I've been trying to think, but not that I can think of.
Yeah, it's simple, man. eBay at its core, it's like a printer and a tape gun. You'll figure it out.
Like,
it's so cool.
I think the last time I even bought like a business related gadget was like March of 2024. It's like even it was like $10. Like
yeah, like once you figure it out,
really like hardly like it is for the business, but like it's just like a little like work timer. Like that's it. I just wanted to know how long it was working.
I like that. When do you usually find yourself using it?
Oh, it's just like anytime I come down here, like if I'm about to like start packing orders, I just press the button. It just starts counting. It's like I was trying to do that on my phone, but I'd always forget. And then like the stopwatch app, it just runs in the background. And then I come back to like 3 days later. I'm like, oh, I'm already working on it.
Yeah, I've been there, leaving the timer up there for way too long.
Yeah.
That's cool. I should track. I've like literally never tracked how many hours I actually work. I should do that.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is it just kept me like accountable. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I wasn't working as much as I should have been, but it also puts me like there's sometimes I get to the end of the week and I look at it and I'm almost at 40 hours. I'm like, I don't know. Something.
Is that it seems like that 40 hours a week that really is like a strong part of your like why and like your goals here is like trying to stick to that, huh? Like making sure to like you have space for all that other stuff in your life, huh?
I'll show you the master sheet here.
The master sheet. Wow, we're getting the inside info. All right.
I started this when I bought that little timer, like this little piece of note paper. It's just how many hours I've worked each week. And like I'm on the back now. It's like I look at
dude, that's a lot. Every one of those numbers is a week you've been documenting?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've hit 40 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like
nice.
This is over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like 60 weeks ish.
That's really cool, man.
I hit it like once every 10 weeks. I hit 40. Yeah. Now, like a lot of them are like, I get like 37, 38. It's like I'm basically doing it. But.
Sure. Yeah. But you also got the boundaries, which I think is just like so healthy. Something personally I'm pretty bad at. So I think I could stand just to document and just like see where I'm at.
Yeah. What I wish I would have done, I know that I changed my habits the second I started timing it. I wish I just had a couple weeks where I was like actually doing like the amount of work I was doing before just to see what I was doing.
Like you think just the act of documenting it changed the way you were acting in some ways?
Yeah. I didn't want to let myself catch myself being bad.
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds effective.
So, like reflecting on like my sales numbers, I think doing that and then starting YouTube, like the two reasons I started making more money every month. So,
Bro, I just heard my own camera noise coming out of my camera. I'm sorry about that. I think I'm still figuring out this phone, but I think I have silent mode turned on now. That's hopefully will be less annoying from this like camera shutter sound going on. Dude, having a strong why is so important. So good. I respect boundaries too, especially in this business. I think just knowing what's going to keep you happy and motivated, and that's when Jay Ride, when I'm like really vibing with him the most on his podcast. And we agree on a lot of stuff. But when he talks about how like when the rest of your life is going well, that's when your business is going to go better. And so much of the time, like the answer might just be to like improve your relationship with your significant other. And that's going to make everything else go much more, instead of just like focusing on every minutia. And I think there's something to do that. Just like figuring out, it is all a balance, like we're not machines. It's cool when the output starts to look like a machine, but usually that's because there's a lot of humanity and like understanding on the other side.
Yeah. I've had some weeks from like, I need to reel it back and focus on other parts of life.
Yeah.
I can forego the extra couple listings. My time's like the return I'm going to get on like the fulfillment from whatever thing I've been neglecting, like actually getting that done, like I'm going to feel a lot better. And then it always does make me feel better. Then I come back the next week even better.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, something else I was talking to Jay Wright about on the podcast was like I had this moment when I was in college and I was taking my first really hard class and I really wanted to do well, but I found myself doing something a little bit different than the other kids, where it was like the first big test coming up for organic chemistry. And I was like, we were all in a study group and it was starting to be towards dinner time and everybody else was just like chugging Red Bulls, getting ready to pull an all-nighter. And I'm like, I think I want to go work out and clear my head. I was just like, there's so many chemical names floating around my head. I've been studying this all day, like the big first exams tomorrow. I think there were only like 3 exams all year. And it was like a big part of our grade. So it was, and that's stressful, like college life, right? So instead of like doing all that, I went to the gym. I did a workout. I went to the cafeteria. Man, the days of free food at the college cafeteria, that was the life. Got so much good food. And then I came back to the library. I don't know if it was like 6:30 or something. Everybody else was still there in the library. But I was like so fresh and calm. Like my mind was just like so ready. I think I had already assimilated the last couple hours and I just needed the break. And everybody else was just like spinning. Like there's just too many names. And I'm like zen. I'm like coming in here. I'm still riding the high off of like working out and like eating like cereal, like all you can eat cereal at the cafeteria, just like feeling great. Yeah. And I just came in. I think I studied until like 9 or 10 p.m. maybe when like the library closed. But instead of going to pull an all-nighter in the dorms, I was like, I think I'm just gonna go to bed. And like I ended up doing really well in the class and stuff. But like, yeah, just like thinking about those other things, like eBay reselling. If you're expecting yourself as a human being to like run this entire business, like there's a lot of like you got to understand the humanity behind it too. Like there's going to be so often a healthy relationship and all these other things. Like you can't, like often these amazing business people are only able to do it because they have a partner who's handling all these other things in their life that makes them look so amazing in this way. But there's a lot of humanity behind the scenes, I think.
That's a good question you could ask yourself is, like, if you had an employee, would you give them the same workload that you're taking on?
No, never.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I would ever say yeah to that question, especially in our space.
I don't expect anybody to work as hard as I do at this point. I know they're out there, but I'm like, I'm looking for them. I'm looking for those heroes. Like, obviously there's people that work way harder than me at eBay, but definitely not somebody you're going to be hiring. Like the chances are getting big. I'm just so passionate about this. Like if somebody else had anywhere near as much passion as me, they'd already be starting their own eBay business. Probably. They're the occasional. There are those wonderful employees. Over our years of having employees, there were a few people that were that perfect mix of like having a manager mindset, of like seeing the big picture, understanding that we're human beings, and that like napkins and straws are not free, and actually that's how you make your money as a restaurant owner. But like most employees are not thinking about that kind of stuff, like the little details like that. But to have somebody who also has that kind of a mind, but also has no desire to want to be a business owner, like they want a steady check. Sometimes it's a financial situation. You're just like, where I'm at in my life, I don't want to ride the ups and downs. I just want a paycheck I can expect at the end of the month. I'm like, those people are they're magical, man. They're hard to find though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we had a couple, and we had so many great employees, but some people just have that extra awareness. Like they're like thinking, like they're recognizing everything that's going on instead of just like do my job and get out of here. I get my free employee meal and get out of here, and just like, yeah, that's rare.
Yeah, I loved having those type of coworkers, but I also felt like there's part of me like felt bad for him. I was like, dude, like I know like we're technically equals, but I would follow you off a cliff if you told me to. You deserve more than this. I'm specifically people at like Chuck E. Cheese. Just like never miss a shift. They're always early. They'll stay late anytime you ask them to. They're driving like 30 to 45 minutes to get there. Like man, and you're doing all this for like, we were making like minimum wage basically. Yeah. And then we clean up like vomit. Like, dude. Like, I wish I had a business to hire you on to.
The hourly wage model is it's so hard to align incentives properly. Like that is like one of the main reasons I think why it's so hard to find employees who think like that and who are thinking big, because they're getting paid by the hour, and like they're just not set up to think in that way. So it's so unique when they do. And like I was always thinking about ways to try to figure out how to pay people based on actions instead of just like passing the time. And it's just like the management at that point was just have been impossible. Like I'm paying people like per dish, like they each get like 1% of the profit of each plate that comes out, or like each dish that gets washed in the dishwasher. Like how do you, because the hourly rate is just so unfair, because there are those standouts who are literally doing twice as much work as the person next to them. And maybe they've gotten a couple of raises, so they're making like 15% more, but their output is 100% more. And it's just, it's hard to incentivize. It's hard to pay people, the good people, what they're worth. And it's hard, it's hard to not let people slip by doing the least amount of work and putting the extra workload on the overachievers who aren't really getting paid for. Like it's a hard system.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not in that system anymore.
Dude, managing people's so hard.
Is that at all?
That's why it's so cool working on the business with Heather, because like we have the same goals, we have the same vacation days, we have the same financial, you know what I mean? Like the expenses are coming out of the same bank accounts. Like there's no incentive to like steal extra food or something. Like at the restaurant, there's always, it's like you want to get a free employee meal. We always offered a free employee meal, but then there's always that tendency to just want to take more because it's like, it's free, but it's not free to us. We had to buy those things, but it's just not everybody's in that mindset.
Yeah.
It's easy with your partner. It's so cool. Like so much of that other stuff is just already baked in. Like we're already pointed in the same direction. It's cool.
Yeah.
Do you and Jasmine have like separate eBay stores?
So she only sells on Poshmark. So,
got it.
There's not a lot of, not a lot of mixing there. But it would be cool to combine that someday. Like she's still learning. All the basics and whatnot. Her sales have been picking up, I tell you.
That's cool.
Trying to give it a run. She wants to scale, make it a bigger piece of her income.
Yeah, I bet now it's probably a pretty good time to sell on Poshmark because so many sellers are getting kicked off or like running away, but there's still a bunch of buyers. Like the buyers don't care about all the drama, like the people who are getting kicked off. So like the buyers are still there. That makes sense. Yeah, keep selling. The buyers are there.
Poshmark like I've never sold on Poshmark at least. It's great. Like I guess they built it to be like a social media. And she listed like a Johnny Was blouse yesterday, and within like 2 seconds, it had like 500 something shares. Like I guess people think like if you share other people's listings, like helps your store or something. It's like I think people are like automating these bots to go share listings.
That sounds like a bot. Is what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Like usually she'll post something, it'll get I don't even know how many, but not 500. It's literally like 2 seconds.
I wonder if that's one of those brands that people have just included on like their list of like automatically share these brands or something. That's so interesting. Did she end up selling the item more quickly, or is it still listed?
No, like they don't even buy it. Like it's still there.
I didn't know if the shares would help or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, like that was still there. I don't know where they're sharing it to. Like I don't know how that works.
Dude, I just crashed the eBay app. I've been listening for an hour 45. It took an hour 45 before I crashed it for the first time. That always happens at some point.
Yeah. Beat the machine.
I beat the machine once again. Crashed back to the desktop, and I think I lost all the photos for that one. I lost about 10 seconds of work. Not the worst thing in the world.
You can just invoice eBay for that.
I should. I had eBay call me recently and ask if I was interested in going to the eBay Open.
The eBay Open?
Yeah, have you heard of that? They're having like a conference.
Yeah.
Like seller tips and stuff.
Yeah. Like did they want you to go speak there, or was it like?
No, they were just wondering if I was interested in attending, and like why or why not. Maybe like a survey or something. I wonder if they're like having like less interest than they were expecting or something. But I don't know. I mean, I was like, if you guys live stream it, or like not even live stream it, if you put the recording up, I might catch it. But like, I got work to do. Like, what are you going to be like unveiling some like secret to reselling that's going to be worth like buying a plane ticket to like Vegas or wherever and like missing 3 days of work? Like, doesn't like, I don't. Is it like networking? Like, what is the point? I don't know.
I have no clue.
There's not going to be any like eBay itself. Like, I don't know. There is like an eBay podcast, like an eBay for Business podcast that has decent advice, but it's just like they're not even the master sellers. Like I want to be hearing it direct from the sellers on eBay, if anything, like not from eBay. And like that's why I watch YouTube. Like eBay is good at like, if they want to like do seminars on like how to code the back end of a site, I'm sure that'd be more of their alley. But like, I don't know why eBay is necessarily an expert in selling. I don't know. I haven't gotten all the killer tips. I'm waiting for them.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a replay of an eBay Open where I was like, man, I wish I was there. What a killer information. I don't know, man. It's just like, it just seems so old school. Like just YouTube, just make YouTube. It is like, if you have content to share that's like beneficial to your sellers, just put it out on the internet for free. Like, why are you putting it behind this? Like, I don't know if it's going to be a paywall. Like the person calling me from eBay wasn't even sure if it was going to be available later on. Like all they knew is like, if you go in person and buy a plane ticket and transport your meat body, you may or may not get some valuable information. Like, what's the value prop here? I don't know. I did have fun. I looked up fees on eBay, and like I think I might have mentioned it in a video, but like some sellers do get discounted fees on eBay if you ask them, but you got to be so huge. It's really interesting.
Yeah, but you needed to do like $500,000 a year or something. Was that
no? You need to be paying $500,000 in fees.
Oh,
yeah,
like millions.
It's got to be millions.
That's like probably over 4 million, right?
Yeah, I paid $60,000 in fees on like 360,000 in sales. So that's what, like 6x. So yeah, like at least 3 million top end probably. Dang.
I can't imagine doing that much in sales on eBay and still like using eBay for it. Like, I wonder what that type of store looks like.
I think just a store that doesn't want to do marketing to their own Shopify account. I can see a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Like
yeah, but you can eventually build. But eBay is just such a great way to like find your customers, I think.
yeah, like what I think like is it Niweir? Like whatever brand like my lights are, or like
Yeah.
even like Anchor might do it. Like they'll have like the website and they just like they have the eBay store in the website and they just price the eBay store like slightly more expensive to cover the fees.
Exactly.
So, and, like
yeah.
every time you buy from them, like they'll send you a coupon. Like if you go to our website and buy from there instead, we'll give you 10% off.
Dude, totally. I think it was American Bubble Boy or somebody that used to do that. If you bought their stuff on Amazon, they would include a little thing that would say, "Stop paying the king's ransom. Get it cheaper direct from us." There's like, "Stop paying Amazon." Like from Amazon. The stuff was like coming out of an Amazon warehouse. But like, yeah, if you build that customer base, you can just include a little thing and be like, "Hey, you buy it direct from us. Here's the benefit. You save 10%. Like you win, I win, that kind of thing." Yeah. Yeah, there was actually one of my favorite interviews ever on the Tech and Sports podcast was this gal from Germany who sold seeds, like plant seeds.
Oh,
she was doing like, I don't know, insane numbers. Made my business look tiny. I don't remember what her numbers were, but like insane. She had multiple employees, and they have like an Amazon and eBay and a personal store. But it's the same thing where it's like on their eBay orders they include a little card where they're like, "Next time, buy your seeds direct from us." But they just like buy seeds in bulk, and then they know how to keyword the seeds like cat safe, butterfly safe, like great for garden, or they'll sell seed packs like tomatoes plus cucumbers or whatever, like beginner gardening pack. And like the thing with seeds is you'll get repeat customers. They'll come back next year and they'll buy seeds from that company that worked for them the first time. So it's like their businesses, and this was like a side gig for her, and it was like insane. She still had a day job. She was like, I don't know, an engineer. Like she was really, really impressive. One of the most impressive interviews ever. Like super underrated. I should go listen to that one again.
Imagine having employees for your side hustle.
Mind blowing. Incredible. Yeah. And just seems so present and calm. And yeah, it was now that I'm talking, I got to go find that episode again. That was awesome. Go track them down. Yeah, that's another bin full of guitars done. Crushing over here.
Can you remember what like one of the craziest things you've ever pulled out of one of those big like pallets you get? Like what the craziest thing would have been?
Oh yeah. Oh man. What's that?
Or just like the weirdest, like most out of place.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I've gotten even I'm buying usually like specifically asking for electronics, but I've gotten designer handbags before. I've gotten really I still am finding video game consoles I've never seen before. I just got like a Japanese Panasonic 3DO. Model number's like FZ10, and I've never seen this console. I've rarely seen anything 3DO related now that I'm thinking about it. So like it's just cool that I'm still finding new stuff all the time. I found a Neo Geo Pocket Color last year, which is like similar to a Game Gear. It was like a handheld pocket color screen device, Neo Geo Pocket Color. It was awesome, and it had this fighting game in it that was like an all ladies cast fighting game. It was like an anime. It's called like, I forget the name of it. It was so awesome. Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, I just find so much random stuff. But like, especially when when I'm like reminded there's like system like PC Engine and 3DO and like TurboGrafx like that I just like barely know anything about. Like I'm still discovering stuff all the time. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Like what would you do with like that designer handbag that showed up?
I spent about 3 minutes. I broke my rule. Usually it's 1 minute of research, but I was just like, I looked at the sold comps and it was like $40 or $50. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to spend 3 minutes. I'm going to look at the sold comps. I'm going to make sure all my spidey senses were telling me it was great. It was like super high quality. Every one of the zippers was tagged. It was real leather. It smelled like leather. And it wasn't that expensive of a bag. It was only like an $80 retail bag and like 40 or $50 pre-owned. So like one of the ones that'd be less likely to be faked. And so I just sold it. I listed it and sold it. I sold it cheap. I was like, I want to get this thing out of my store, out of my life as quick as possible. But I'm still everything seller at the end. If I can sell it, I'm going to.
Okay.
But there's some things I don't know, like Legos. I used to spend way more time like building Lego sets. I'm like, I can't be doing that for business. I'll do it for fun, but like life's too short to be like trying to build Lego sets and like having a timer in my head of like, am I making money as I'm like finding that one red piece and I'm like getting stressed? Like, that's not fun. It makes Legos way not fun.
Yeah, the video you did with Heather, where like you guys were talking about paying the kids for putting the Lego sets together. They cracked.
They had so much fun with that. We had so many Minecraft Lego sets. It was really fun. Minecraft and Lego just go so well together, just with like the block aesthetic. It's like a match made in heaven. I'm getting another mini guitars over here. Oh, dude, I just checked my watch. Well, really, I checked my watch because it smelled so delicious out there, but it's almost 5 o'clock, which means I probably got to sign out for dinner pretty soon. Got like 5 more minutes probably.
Yeah, like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad I didn't do the free stream would have literally cut it off at 2 hours. I don't know. We'll probably stop it around there, but that's a cool first video, man. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I almost forgot we were recording. I feel like this is pretty genuine, which I appreciate. We're still capturing just like what we were doing before.
Now, next time we can have some people leave comments to actually like spark some topics too. I do like just hanging out for most of it. I'll let them ask a couple questions or something.
All right. Let them come into our little eBay caves over here. Yeah, this has been a profitable little session. I'll tell you what. Probably like $25, $30 average sales price on these. Just pumping them out. So lucky. Heather's in there making dinner for all of us. That's like my absolute love language. It's just like a home cooked meal. So nice.
Your household must be pretty good at cooking. The restaurant back home.
You know, you'd think so, but actually, that'll make you kind of resent cooking maybe for a long time. It was a lot. It was cool. Like, I think we have skills. We know how to cook in bulk really well. But like, we took on so many catering orders that were just so stressful, and like, to associate stress, like food is so relaxing, but like there's some part of my head that's like in production mode sometimes when I'm cooking and just forgets to appreciate just the act of cooking still. So it's still a little bit stressful for me sometimes. But we can definitely cook in bulk real well. Like, you better believe we're getting roped into, there's a couple of weddings, like family weddings coming up. And on one of them, we're getting roped into helping with the food and stuff. That'll be fun. It's like, it's not my wedding. It's not my restaurant. I'm just going to do the best I can, but it doesn't seem like the same kind of pressure at all. That's fun. Just the way to kind of share some skills, I guess. But we like easy stuff. Meal prep meals are just easy meals. Just doing dishes is not fun for anybody.
I need to get better at meal prepping. I say get better. I need to meal prep, period.
You know, just getting those containers does make it so much easier. Like the plastic ones or whatever, the glass ones if you like, but just the ones that stack in your fridge, you can see what you got. Once you got back, it's kind of satisfying to fill them up. Are you the kind of person that can eat the same thing over and over again, or is that an issue as well?
You know, to an extent. Like, I've kind of burned myself out on eggs a little bit. But
dude, that is easy to do.
It's like pizza. Now we're talking. Like, I can do pizza. Throw a couple different things on it.
Yeah, eggs make me feel good, but I can't overeat them or I'll make myself sick on them too. It's weird. Like, I wish I could just like eat. It's just they're easy and cheap. It's like good protein, but like I can have a bunch of eggs on my plate for breakfast, but then I'm usually like full up until the next day. Like I can't just like it would just make it so much easier, but I can't. Are you like following tracking macros or anything? Are you trying to hit protein goals or anything like that?
Nah, I typically don't track anything. Recently, I was tracking like just my protein just to see like where I was falling at.
Yeah.
So, and I was, ending most days to like a little over 100. So I was like, okay, like that's good enough for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone back to just not really tracking much of anything. Like I'm trying to be just like generally more mindful. Like I'm portioning stuff out. Like it's like I want to slim down just a little bit. Like so I'm trying to like cut out like junk eating. It's like my favorite snack is Cheez-Its. And I finally bothered to read the box, and I realized that like one box of family-sized Cheez-Its is 3,000 calories. Okay, so we go to the groceries, and I get this box of Cheez-Its, and it's gone within 2 days. So I'm like,
those I mean, that's a decent amount of calories.
Really rough for the macros those 2 days. I started just portioning them out, just weighing them. It's like one serving is like 140 calories. So I just use my little food scale, and I weigh out pre-portioned ones.
Dude, sometimes that is all it takes. Right? If I'm trying to hit some body goal or something, it's just like you figure out just the one thing that maybe you're prone to overeating. It's peanut butter for me. Like if I need to hit, I just need to like rein in I need to actually measure the tablespoons. I would just eat half a jar, and I love peanut butter, but like it's the same thing. It's calorie dense, and that's good. A lot of the time, you need calorie for energies, but if you got a goal, it's just like important to understand that stuff. Like recognize your triggers. Like yeah, it's so similar.
Yeah, I can sit down with a jar of peanut butter, dude.
Bro, I was on a bike ride the other day, and I just like had just like a pouch of straight peanut butter, and some girl was like, "Are you just eating straight peanut butter?" And I'm like, "Man, at this point, I think my DNA is like 20% peanut butter, straight up. Like I'm a peanut butter man. You can just call me PB."
Have you ever had a peanut butter and jelly burger?
I never have. How have I not?
So good.
It's gotta
please try one. So good. Jasmine thinks that it's like the worst idea ever. I love it. I think they're amazing.
Do you do other condiments too, or just peanut butter?
Nope. Peanut butter, jelly, and then the only other thing that's even on it is bacon. So the salty.
Oh, so it's a PB&J burger with bacon.
PB&J burger with bacon.
That's amazing. It. I'm gonna make it for my kids. What we're gonna do? I'll report back.
Ooh, so good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a little bar back when I was in college that had them, and I have not found a place that makes them since then. It's like I'm making my own, but
that's such a good bar food. That's so good.
Oh my god.
Oh man, on that note, you're making me hungry, and thankfully it's basically 5 o'clock. I think I need to sign off here and go eat some dinner. It's been fun, man. Let's do it again super soon.
All right. See you guys.
I'll talk to you over text. Oh yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. What are you saying?
I said, see you guys in the comments.
Yeah, you're stealing my line over here. This is fun, man. Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do it again super soon.
Yes, sir. I'll hear from you too. Bye.